It's been hard.
Yeah. All right. Hello, everyone. So fun to be in our kitchen together with my chef helper over here, Hadassah. So whether you are watching this on Zoom, whether you're watching this on Facebook, or whether you're watching this in replay, because I know so many of you wanted the recording, we are going to make 2 kugels today. So it's Friday. It's a perfect time for Shabbat cooking. We're going to do potato kugel, and we're going to do challah kugel. So we're going to start with potato kugel, and actually my challah kugel, I'm going to post both recipes on the website because I know some of you asked for that. My challah kugel starts off with like soaking challah. So I have my challah soaking. I have 2 challahs and they're like soaking here in soy milk. You could use water, you could use soy milk, and you could use apple juice. I use soy milk. So my challah is soaking in the meantime while we work on our potato kugel. And typically I make challah kugel when I have like extra challah from a different batch that didn't get eaten over Shabbat because I make a lot of challah at a time. And then there's extra challah that maybe was out for a day and it's, you know, maybe not as fresh. So then I'll just use it up in challah kugel, right? It's kind of like making French toast. That's actually kind of what this challah kugel tastes like. But we're going to get started with, do you want to wear gloves or no? We're going to get started with the potato kugel, okay? So the potato kugel, I'm going to do half of my recipe because my full recipe makes 2 pans. I'm going to make just 1 pan today, and probably if you're making this along with me, then you also probably just want to make 1 pan. So you would need 5 potatoes, 5 large potatoes, and then 2 to 3 onions. So depending on the size, if they're larger, do 2. If they're smaller, do 3. 5 eggs, half a cup of oil, and salt and pepper. So now the thing that you want to do, this is the secret to white potato kugel on the inside and crispy on the outside. A couple secrets. Number 1, you want to have your eggs already beaten and ready to go so that when you grate your potato, you can put it straight into the egg, okay? Because if it like is out or whatever, if it doesn't touch the egg, it gets brown really fast. So you want to have your egg mixture ready to go so that your potatoes can go straight into it. That's one secret. And the other one is that I do like 2 potatoes and then an onion, 2 potatoes and then an onion. You grate mixing it up, okay? So we are going to get started with that. We are going to peel some potatoes, and I use a food processor, okay? So I have over here Cuisinart food processor. The blade that I use has like, it's the small blade. You don't want big chunks. You want it to be like shredded, or you could use a hand grater if you want to just grate your potatoes and your onions by hand, but I use this over here. Okay, so we are going to get started. Hadassah will start with peeling some potatoes. I'm going to grab some gloves for myself as well. And I will start with cracking the eggs. So usually I'll do 10 eggs and make 2 pans, but now because I miss all of my Shabbat guests and it's just my family, I think 1 pan for my family will be enough. So I'm going to do half of this recipe. Okay, so I'm going to put 5 eggs into a bowl over here. Okay, 5 eggs, and I have a glass cup, because I'm going to check all of my eggs for blood spots, right? We don't want to have any blood spots in our eggs. Okay, so I'm going to go 1. I'll just put it down for right now. 2. I check it for blood spots.
Adina, I have a question. How do I get my face off the screen and put you as the main?
You can
probably,
yeah, you can pin my screen.
How do you pin? I'm on an iPad.
You're on an iPad.
I might leave the meeting and come back in.
Okay, you could also, you could click speaker view. Does that make sense?
I don't know where that is.
It's on the right side of the screen. Like
on my iPad?
Yeah.
I don't have that. I just have mute, stop, share, and participants. That's okay. I'll leave meeting and come back.
Okay. She wants just me on the screen. All right, so I have 4 eggs now. Can you check if there's a way to spotlight? Or it's not gonna work. Maybe it doesn't work with 2 people. Okay. And now I'm up to 5 eggs, okay? So I have 5 eggs in my bowl, and now I'm just gonna beat them so that they're ready for our potatoes. I'm just gonna take a fork, beat it. Over here, so now my eggs are ready for the potatoes and the onion to go through the food processor and go straight into my bowl of eggs. Okay, so I'm going to cut up some onions in the meantime. My onions are kind of small, so I'm gonna use, here, you know what, Dust? You could peel it into here, so the peels all go into the bowl, and you can just easily throw it out. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 onions because my onions are kind of small. Yeah, we might do more than 5 because we have small potatoes. Okay, so I'm now peeling my onions. And we're just peeling everything into a bowl because it makes for easier cleanup. And we just take everything in the bowl and toss it out. Some people use a parchment paper baking sheet. You could do that as well. Okay, all right, 1 onion. Yes, eyes might be hurting from onions. That is certainly a possibility. Okay, another onion. And then we have a 3rd onion.
2 more?
Yeah, those are pretty small potatoes. You did 4?
Yeah.
So we technically need 5 potatoes, but since they're small, let's do like 7.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. All right. Okay, so now we're ready to put everything through the food processor. I've got 3 onions. We've got a bunch of potatoes that are peeled. I'm gonna start putting it through the food processor, and like I said, we're gonna do 2 potatoes and then an onion through the food processor. So you wanna kind of mix it up, do back and forth.
Okay. Got 5 potatoes. Do 2 more.
Okay. So I've got my food processor over here on this side, plugged in. Again, on the small blade of the food processor. I'm gonna go now and do 2 potatoes. 1, 2. 1 onion. And 2 potatoes. One onion. This is my 5th potato. Okay. That was my 5th potato. And I'm gonna just do a little bit more. Okay, so we have so far, hi Joni, welcome to Kugel making. Happy that you're here. All right, here is where we're at. We're making potato kugel, and the secret to white on the inside, fluffy white potato kugel on the inside and crispy on the outside. These are the things we've done so far, okay? We're doing the 5 eggs are already beaten in the bowl, and so that the potatoes and onion mixture can go straight into that. That's what we want. And then in the food processor, I'm doing 5 potatoes, 3 onions. My recipe for 2 pans is 10 potatoes, 5 onions, so I'm halving that. So it depends on the size of things. And you do 2 potatoes, 1 onion, 2 potatoes, 1 onion to mix it up. All right, so we're on the last of that. I'm gonna put that through. That's will finish putting that through for us. Okay, we have 2 more potatoes to put through. Excellent. All right, fantastic. So now, okay, and we did that on the shredding side of our food processor. So now I have like a full bowl of the potato onion mixture, and I'm going to put it straight into my beaten eggs. And then right away I can mix that up so that the eggs cover, and that is the secret, or one of them, to to white on the inside. Because if your potatoes are like exposed to just oxygen or air right away or something, it makes it brown. And it is not so visually appealing to eat brown potato kugel, brown on the inside. All right, so next, where did that recipe go? Right under here. Okay, so we beat the eggs, we added the potatoes. Now we're just gonna add salt and pepper, okay? So my recipe, again, like I said, I'm halving the recipe so that I just make 1 pan. So my double recipe uses 2 heaping tablespoons of salt. So I'm just gonna use 1 heaping tablespoon of salt and about 1 teaspoon of pepper. So I'll use like half a teaspoon of pepper. So over here, I've got my salt. Yeah, tablespoon, this one. Okay, so I'm just gonna put in like a heaping tablespoon of salt and half a teaspoon of pepper. Right here. Okay, so all I have now in my bowl, again, is grated onion, grated potato, egg, salt, and pepper. That's it. Now the oil, what I do with the oil is I don't put it directly in the bowl. So again, I'm gonna use half a cup of oil. So I'm gonna take some of that oil and put it on the bottom of the pan, then put in my mixture, and then some of the oil and put it on top. And that makes it like really, really, really crispy. Okay, so Hadassah's gonna mix with our gloved hands. I'm gonna pull out a pan. Right here, we've got a pan for it to go in, and I'm gonna use olive oil. This is the olive oil I have, and you can use any olive oil. I'm going to measure out half a cup. And now, hi Ziska. Now I'm gonna take this half a cup of oil, and I'm going to put half of it kind of drizzled at the bottom of the pan, okay, just like that. Then I'm going to put in my potato mixture, egg, potato. I'll just show you what it looks like, kind of like that, just shredded. Put it into the pan. And I'll smooth it out, and it really makes like a full 9 by 13 pan. So definitely if you do my full recipe, just know that that makes 2 pans. And I'm gonna take the rest of my oil and I'm gonna drizzle it right on top. Okay. And now my final product to go into the oven looks just like that. Okay, so this is, I usually covered for 2 hours and uncovered for about an hour. That is a long time. It probably doesn't even need that long. You could do like covered for an hour, uncovered for an hour on 350. It just depends how crispy you like it. And you have delicious crispy potato kugel, and it's fluffy and white on the inside. So I'm gonna put this aside because we're now gonna move on to the challah kugel. Yes, you can help me make the challah kugel. All right, so we're gonna move what we don't need aside. So we don't need potatoes or onion anymore. We don't need our food processor. We'll move that out the way. Fantastic. Okay. I'm gonna rinse this bowl. All right. Okay, if you're watching on Facebook, I can't see any comments there. So if you have any questions, I'll look at it afterwards, or you'll have to sign into Zoom, which is jewishnevada.com/Adina, and you can ask me any questions here. Okay, so now I have a clean bowl, and I've got my soaking challah. So like I said before, challah kugel is a great thing to do if you've got extra challah. I don't know if that ever happens in your house, but we make a lot of challah at a time. I actually have my challah dough rising right now. It's going to make 8 loaves and to deliver to the winners of our Jeopardy game. So I think Joni and Steve are one of those lucky winners. You'll get a fresh challah today, and the Kursanskis and Cindy. What? Oh, Howard and Every Rachelson, Cindy Yob. Right, correct? Okay, anyways, we have a list of the winners. You will get fresh challah today. My challah dough is rising in the back. But this is challah that isn't as fresh. So I decided to turn it into challah kugel. So the recipe calls for 2 medium loaves of challah. And again, this could even be if you have like sliced challah, right? So sometimes if you have sliced challah, then it like gets a little hard, or you don't want to use it, and maybe you could either make French toast, but this is another amazing option, and it's a great side dish. It's very sweet, so it's almost like a dessert. So what you're going to do is you're going to soak. My challah has been soaking. You have to soak it just for like 10 or 15 minutes. So you want to soak your challah in soy milk, apple juice, or water. I use soy milk. So right now this challah has been soaking in soy milk for a while. Okay, the other things you're going to need is eggs. Let's get that recipe out. The other thing you're going to need is eggs, sugar, vanilla extract, oil. No, I don't use olive oil. I'll use like canola oil, and a packet of dry vanilla pudding. So I'll show you what I use for that. Can you pass that to me, Chaya? Thank you. Right. So I use this right over here. Jello, vanilla. It's Jello Company, but it's instant pudding mix, and it has an OK on it. So it's a kosher product. And the recipe, you could put in chopped up apples. I don't do that, but you totally could. And then you sprinkle sugar on top. We're going to go through that right now. So the first thing we're going to do after we soaked our challah, actually, is to take off the crust. Okay, so we're going to take, do you girls want to help me with that? Okay. Okay, so I'll take it and, and just kind of try to peel off the crust a little bit. Some parts of it are soaked more. Let's put that back in. Okay, so let's just say I have this piece right over here where I've kind of removed the crust that we don't want in our challah kugel. And then I will squeeze off the excess liquid. Okay, so I have basically soaked challah, remove the crust, squeezed off any excess liquid right over here, just like that. And once I've squeezed off the excess liquid, I'll put it in a different bowl, because that's the challah we're going to use for our challah kugel. This is kind of fun. If you do this with your kids, this could be a fun activity for them. Who doesn't love like squeezing soft, mushy challah? Okay, put it over here. Okay, here, Chaya, do you want to take off some of the crust? Yeah. Okay, so you can take off some of the crust. So again, we're squeezing off the crust. Sorry, we're taking off the crust and squeezing the challah, the inside of it, and then we can put it into our bowl.
Good? Good, Mommy? Or more?
Yeah.
We're making challah on this bowl.
Okay.
Then what can I do?
Okay.
What can I do?
You can keep on doing it.
But I don't know what's on the pick.
Here, pick this piece and take off
That's
the
a weird mushy
Crusty.
take off the crust, and then squeeze the challah.
And then put it in the bowl.
It actually might be easier. I just took the 2 loaves and broke them in half, and then I put them in the soy milk to soak. It might actually be easier to cut it in slices, because then all it will get, or in like smaller chunks, because then it will get more soaked, the different areas of it. Okay. Here we have this over here.
What it looks like.
Thank you for sharing that, Das. Appreciate it.
It looks like we're making
Okay.
Yeah, but no Hawa.
All right. So now we've gotten most of it the way we would like it. Right over here. All right, so I'm going to set aside this bowl that has the crust and the soy milk in it. And we're going to put this one in front of us, the one that, yeah, the one where we have the challah that we're going to use. Okay, so the next step is that we're going to add, this is what we're adding to our squeezed challah dough mixture. We're going to add 5 eggs, a cup of sugar. We'll do this one at a time. Okay, so 5 eggs. Again, I have my cup to check for blood spots. One egg.
Good.
Chai, would you like to put that in?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. One egg, and we'll do another egg.
Can I do the one after Dasha? How about we take turns, Sisha?
Okay, Hadassah.
Mommy, how about we take turns? Mommy,
2.
actually, I want to mix. Can I mix?
We'll take some turns mixing.
Please?
3.
Yeah, with my hands.
Okay, Chai, you want to put that in? Excellent. 4.
Then this is how your gloves will be. Yeah.
There you go. And last egg.
That's what I'm gonna do.
5.
I want to put it in.
Okay, Chai, you can put that one in. Okay, excellent. 5 eggs. We're going to do a cup of sugar. Hold on. That's salt, actually. I'm going to take off these gloves. But, okay. You guys don't touch other things because your gloves are so dirty. I took off mine so that you guys can do the mixing, okay? Okay, so we're going to put in a cup of sugar. All right. Cup of sugar. Sugar and flour are hard to come by these days in the stores. Just got to get there at the right moment because for some reason maybe everyone's doing cooking and baking at home. Who knows? All right, Hadassah, you want to put in the cup of sugar? Excellent, thank you. We're going to put in 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Okay. So right here, 1, 2. 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, half a cup of oil. Again, I'm going to use canola oil or vegetable oil, not olive oil for this one. Half a cup of oil. Perfect amount in here. Chai, you want to put that in?
Yeah.
Excellent. Let's put in one more thing. Okay, and the last ingredient, again, if you don't, you could put in 2 to 3 apples chopped up, but I don't do that, and a packet of dry vanilla pudding. So I'm going to take one of these boxes, and I'm just going to open it up and stick it inside. Okay, so now we have all the ingredients mixed in with our challah, and Hadassah and Chaya, you can go ahead and mix that. Yeah, but keep it in a way that it's, yeah, let's keep it in a way that it's not so dirty. I mean, that's not spilling out. Yeah. This is kind of like, a little bit like French toast in a bowl. I mean, in a pan, right? Like a little bit. Or maybe someone one time said it tasted like bread pudding. So maybe that's a better similarity to what this is.
It's sweet.
Yeah. Very sweet. As sweet as I love my sister.
Aw.
She's saying this is so sweet as me.
Yeah. It's as sweet as you. Like you're so
This
sweet.
is very sweet.
It is very sweet.
I'm joking.
Okay. Okay, and then,
This is so much honey.
okay, we're gonna take it off now. We're gonna be done, okay? Excellent. All right. Okay, and then, let me just move you out the way. And I'm gonna take out another pan. Right over here.
Can you screw me back in?
You might want to spray the pan or just put a little bit of oil at the bottom of the pan.
Mom, ich nehme.
And then the last thing you're going to do for your challah kugel that is now all mixed is put it in your pan. And I bake it, let's check how long I bake it for, uncovered for an hour on 350.
Mommy, when can it be my turn on the iPad?
Okay. Now I'm just spreading it out. And it really does fill, I guess depending on the size of your challahs, but it really fills very nicely a 9 by 13 pan. And so these are 2 kugels, one sweet, one savory, and you could use them as side dishes at your Shabbat dinner. So we have here both of those right here. Delicious potato kugel, challah kugel, side dishes for your Shabbat dinner. They're delicious. I encourage you to light Shabbat candles. I believe candle lighting time is about 7:37 a.m., somewhere around there. You can check up the exact time. Light your Shabbat candles and make the hamotzi blessing on challah and have a delicious meal with your family. And definitely make these at some point when you can. All right, thank you for joining. Shabbat shalom.